We're in Kampala. I've never thought chapati would go with egg. I'm so worried because they said it's bitter.
I made a microbial fuel cell. It's like...
Yes, please. If you think about your story and like what you're innovating now that's going to impact even more than Gulu, you know?
Yeah.
Which is making me even more excited to meet the African change makers I'm here to see who call Uganda home. Legally Clueless is back on the road. This time, we've teamed up with Mastercard Foundation and the Forum for Africa Women Educationalists, also known as FAWE, to bring you powerful stories from East Africa. We're going to meet young Africans who are all graduates of the Mastercard Foundation Scholars Program, which is a global initiative designed to develop the next generation of transformative leaders by enabling high-talented, service-oriented young people, primarily young Africans, to pursue higher education and cultivate their leadership potential. FAWE, one of the many partners implementing this program, has been working in Africa for 30 years to promote education for girls and women. And on this tour, we get to meet some of the young people who, through this program, have been able to unlock their potential. And what better place to start our tour than the Pearl of Africa, Uganda, which I'm pretty excited to experience because I've never been here before. We're in Kampala, which I'm already noticing has a lot of similarities to Nairobi. It's just as vibrant and alive. The boda-bodas and the drivers have the same temperament as us. But what I'm really loving is that everyone I meet has this huge smile on their face. Very friendly, which is making me even more excited to meet the African change makers I'm here to see, who call Uganda home. Kampala isn't our first stop though. To kick things off, we're actually traveling to Gulu, 300 kilometers north of Kampala, which should take us either 4, 6, or 7 hours, depending on who you ask. So we're just going to see how long it takes for us to get there. I'm excited because we're going to meet some very inspiring Africans there and capture their stories, which we'll share with you. But also because I hear I'm going to really understand the language on ground. Someone told me that they speak Luo, so I can't wait to find out if that's true. Since we have a couple of hours to kill, I figured I should try out something I've always wanted to try, which could be considered one of Uganda's national dishes. Okay, so the first thing you have to do when you land in Uganda is try out the famous Rolex. So I've never been to Uganda, which means I've never tried a Rolex. And it's egg made to your specifications if you want onions, if you want green pepper, tomatoes, and then it's wrapped in a chapati. Never tried it, never even thought this combo would go together, but I'm willing to give it a try. I've never thought chapati would go with egg, but it does. But it also seems like it's very filling. Yes. We're Bali for the Rolex. 6 hours later, we finally get to Gulu, and I get to meet our first African changemaker, Viola, who could be the perfect definition of more than meets the eye. But I also couldn't wait to test just how similar our languages are. Is Luo spoken here in Gulu?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Do you speak Luo?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I
just try? Yes.
Itienini.
Huh?
Itienini.
Itienini.
How are you?
Oh, okay. So we say Idinadi, and then I'll say bear. Is it the same?
Achiema bear.
Achiema bear. Are you saying how did you wake up?
No. How are you?
Okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
What is your name? Nyinga.
Nyinga Adele.
Nyinga Adoj.
What? Okay. I was told people speak Gulu in Gulu, and I was like, I hope so, but I'm not sure, right?
Yeah. Give me some drinking water.
Okay, Miapi.
Miapi.
A beautiful girl, Jaber.
Nyakamabe.
Nyakamabe. Yes! I'm just gonna like me. This is so wild. Even though we have these borders, they're not really real.
Small is the same.
Yeah!
Same people.
They're not ours. A bunch of people sat and they were like tearing Africa apart, right? So many years later, there's evidence of how we're linked through language.
Yeah.
I think that's very powerful.
I spoke to some friends from Sudan.
Yeah.
Had a few in my class. It's more or less the language.
The same.
A lot of common words.
Yeah. As excited as I was here to learn more than just Acholi. I really wanted to learn more about this young inventor.
I grew up in Gulu. I was born and raised here. I was born at Gulu Referral Hospital. My family dynamics is a bit not very straight.
Okay.
So to my mom, I'm a third born.
Okay.
To my dad, I think I'm 7th or 9th.
7th or 9th. And so, did you go to primary school here?
Yeah, I went to primary school, a government school here in Gulu.
Yeah.
So that time I wrote and I was the best. Yeah. And out of nowhere, the new vision. It's the government paper here. They came looking for me.
Oh wow!
Like, I was this playful little girl. I was all covered in dust.
Yeah.
Then they came up to home and they're like, "Who is Bridgette?" And I came out like someone who had done something wrong. Yeah. And I asked them immediately, What have I done? Yeah. And they're like, "No, you didn't do anything wrong. Would like to take your picture for our newspaper."
Yeah.
That's when they started telling me, "You've performed well, you are the best in Gulu, and would like to make the story to the newspaper." Then the Vision group also offered me a scholarship. But by then I was a hot cake. Like
everyone wanted you.
Yeah, like there were offers coming in from all directions. Then there was this one particular family friend who took interest, was like, this is something that shouldn't be kept low here and wasted. We should take her to a place she deserves. Yeah. So it can bring out the best. So he drove all the way from Gulu to Kampala, then to Entebbe, got for me an admission in one of the best schools then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, like best in Uganda.
How is that experience like?
I get into high school. There was this mentality that the northern part is really, really doing so bad, like after the war. Yeah. That if you come to it, you can barely see development. Like the people are starving. The people are just disturbed and tormented.
Northern Uganda's story is more than the war that was experienced here. Insurgencies led by the Lord's Resistance Army from the 90s to 2008 cut through Acholi land, which consists of the districts of Kitgum, Pader, and Gulu. The violence also spilled into neighboring countries like South Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it's estimated it affected the lives of over 37,000 adults and 38,000 children. Present-day Gulu, however, is proving that its dark past will not define its future.
I was calling my parents a lot that I don't think I should be here. I think this place is not for me, and they kept telling me their parents have the kind of money that we don't have. Yeah. But the best you can do is just show them who you are.
Yeah, because you've got there.
Yeah, because you've come from far. Yeah. Don't let them intimidate you in any way. Yeah. So then that's when I took the courage. I remember we were in Form 1, in Senior 1, and we were 700 students. Wow. Just in Senior 1. So out of these 700 people, I turned out to be number 3. So I was like, okay.
Number 3?
Yes.
Okay.
I was like, okay. So I can actually survive here really well.
So the family friend pays for how many years for high school?
For 4 years.
Okay.
That was for the ordinary level. He wasn't really paying fully. He was paying half of the tuition. Okay. And my parents were contributing the remaining half. Okay. That was for ordinary level. Yeah. For advanced level, I joined another school. Okay. But this time around, my dad was sick for a year. Like, He was very sick and not working, and it was just my mom. But she didn't back down.
Yeah.
She took up and paid that 1 year. Then in the 2nd year, I suggested, because I saw it was hard. Our last borns are twins, and they were both joining secondary in that same year. And I told my mom that it's okay, I can survive in any school. She can just take me anywhere, much more affordable, and have the twins also join. So it's not so much a burden on her. That's when I changed. It was a mixed feeling, because much as I wanted to be in the other school, and changing was something I would say sensitive given the stage I was in. And changing means either you may get another school that is behind the curriculum, or maybe could have covered. And that was exactly what I met. There were things that they never paid attention to. Like in mathematics, they were not doing mechanics. I'd done a lot of mechanics all my life, and they were focusing more on probability and statistics. And I was like, will I really manage here? I was worried for the first month, but I made up my mind to quit classes. Just on my own. I would read on my own outside.
Oh, wow. So now when the exams come, what happened?
So I was very scared because I had not attended the classes. We did the exams. So my results, I was still among the best. And it was kind of shocking because when they were admitting me, they were also worried that this girl may not make it.
So you finished your high school?
Finished my high school. Then I came back for vacation. So in between that period, I had filled in some government scholarship. So I remember my dad told me that if you don't go through with that, I think this is where yours ends. And then one time, there's this auntie of mine, like a cousin to my dad, who called and was like, there's this organization that has just an announced of a new scholarship scheme that I think your girl could benefit from. And then she sent some link. So from that link, I went ahead and applied for the scholarship. They were looking for young, talented, but economically challenged kind of youth who have tried to emerge out of their difficult situations. Still, I gave them my honest story. I was like, my parents can raise resources to pay me, but there's a lineup of children behind me, not only from my dad, but his brothers who passed on. He took on the responsibility. So in the whole family alone, there were close to 15 children. Kids, under my dad's care. And it's not like he made a lot of money. He's a regular guy, he's a teacher.
So when you told them the story, did they take you on?
It was a hard discussion. It was hard for them to agree. But they could barely find people who qualified from the district itself. So that was my winning point.
What was the dynamics, and what's the name of this organization and the name of the program?
It's called FAWE Uganda. So they had got this funding from MasterCard Foundation.
And so the funding, they funded you to go to which uni and to study what?
So I had applied to Gulu University. Gulu University gave me biosystems engineering. Biosystems engineering is more like an improved version of agriculture engineering with some added bits.
What are some of the things you find that you like in Gulu?
First of all, Gulu is home. There is no place better than home.
True. And what about like social life? You have a favorite spot in Gulu?
Yes.
What spot is that? And why is it your favorite?
This favorite spot became my favorite spot not very long ago. In 2021, when I first discovered it. When I was taken there for a date.
Well, if it's your favorite, it means the date went well.
Yes. So actually, the reason for it being my favorite, it's a nice place. You will agree with me when you get to it.
Okay. And then you can tell me more about this date. First dates always have a good story, so I was really excited to hear more about this one. Did the date end well? Like, Are you two still together?
Yes.
Okay. And do you hang out here with friends, or what's like your social life like in Gulu?
In Gulu, I actually like inviting friends, mostly home. I love to cook.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You didn't cook for me.
No, I do not.
Next time. How was it when you joined Gulu University? What was your experience?
When I joined Gulu University, first of all, I was happy that I was going to be home, very near home. And secondly, I had an advantage that I was already familiar with the Gulu settings. It wasn't a lot of adjusting to do. Maybe the adjusting was more on the campus side. You're on your own. No one will tell you to do this and that and so on. Yeah.
When do you clear? What year do you clear campus?
Not very long ago, 2022.
2022.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were working afterwards. When do you decide that you want to go back and do your master's?
My research supervisor from undergraduate asked me if I could do a small presentation for some people coming from Ministry of Science Technology. So I presented and they really liked what I had done at undergraduate.
Yeah.
It was a requirement that you do a final year project. And given it was an engineering course, they needed something tangible.
Yeah.
So I made a microbial fuel cell. It's like
yes, please.
it's like a battery, powered by wastewater.
What?
For lighting.
Okay, wait. A battery powered by wastewater.
Okay, you know how you have a dry cell?
Yeah.
A dry cell has chemicals.
Yeah.
That bring out the power.
Yeah.
The other one, the chemicals instead are the wastewaters that you feed in.
Wow.
And you generate some power.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like really, that's really innovative.
Yeah. So at undergraduate, I had basically done a proof of concept.
Yeah.
It was working. We generated some few voltages.
Yeah.
And when I presented, and then these guys from the ministry just liked it, and they decided to fund me further.
Wow.
For a master's.
That's really powerful.
Yeah.
If you think about your story and like what you're innovating now, that's going to impact even more than Gulu, you know?
Yeah.
What is your hope for Uganda? Like, how do you, as Viola, want to impact Uganda?
They say change starts with you, and the smallest way possible. I cannot say my impact may reach the whole of Uganda, but if I've reached a few people around me, I'll believe I've done something.
Yeah.
I first of all believe that having energy, like more efficient energy available for the locals, will change life so much for them in very many ways. I don't know if it's a common thing in Kenya, but here in Uganda, there are still households that are using paraffin lamps. These ones that are made of small metallic tins and with a wick and simple light and smoking and all that.
Yeah.
And yet, if they had even the smallest or the simplest form of energy, their life would be better. Kids could read better.
And healthier even.
And the energy doesn't have to come from far.
Yeah.
It could be right within them.
Yeah.
So with what I worked on, I hope and believe that one day it will be of help. It's a portable technology. It's a fuel cell that you feed in your own wastewater that you generate every day. And you have light for your home.
Yeah.
You don't need to put so much effort in getting the light. Your work is simply to feed it.
Yeah. You
don't need to think of paying maybe a service provider all the time to get it.
Yeah.
Once it is yours, it's your own technology.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And that's my hope. I finally tested with a 3 watts bulb for home lighting, and it worked out well.
Congratulations.
So hopefully if I get additional funding, or if some other people decide to develop it further, then it will be something on market soon.
Yeah. Viola and her brilliant innovation really showed just how bright Gulu's future is. It was also great to learn just how similar our languages are. Another way to learn about people and their culture is through their food. Now, I can't have come all the way to Gulu and not try a local acholi dish. So I'm about to try one called malakwang.
I've been told it's a vegetable, which I think is a safe option when you're trying something for the first time. And the other thing I was told that's made me a bit apprehensive is that it can be a bit bitter. And I prefer sweet things, but it's a vegetable. What's the worst that can happen? So I'm about to try it out now. Thank you. It looks like a vegetable from my tribe called, what is it called? Osuga, which is also pretty bitter and gets sweeter the more it stays in your fridge. So it looks like it. It also has some peanut butter something, because I can smell peanut butter. Okay, let me try it alone first, right? To really get the essence of it. I'm so worried because they said it's bitter. Okay, no. It's not bitter. I think the peanut butter levels it out. It's actually not bad. It has like a very thick, heavy consistency, like a porridge-like feel. And it does actually, the vegetable tastes like osuga. So, which I love. So there's that. So maybe now let me try it with the millet bread. But it just feels like it's going to be a lot of heavy stuff. I should have listened to the waitress. She made a face when I said I wanted with millet bread. I think they're both heavy things, so they shouldn't, this should go with something fluffier. Maybe like rice. I would like this with rice. But on its own, I like the why do I always mess it up? Malakwang. I like the malakwang alone. I feel like the millet bread makes it heavier. I like it because it reminds me of osuga, which I love. I used to be apprehensive when I'd hear people mix peanut butter with like food and not just put it on bread. I never used to get that, but it actually tastes really well. And the peanut butter, I think, makes it less bitter. So, would I try this again? Yeah, but not with millet bread. I think I would try it with like rice or something less heavy. So, if you're ever in Gulu or northern Uganda, you've got to try malakwang.
I've really enjoyed my first day in Uganda. Viola's story has really inspired me and has fueled my hope for Africa. That she has innovated a solution that will impact not only Gulu or Uganda, but the entire continent, really speaks to the potential Africa has to solving global issues, and that these solutions can and will be birthed in any corner of our continent. Thank you for watching, make sure you subscribe, and stay tuned to find out where we're headed to next.
Did he say yes? So I think, okay, I forgot the first bullet point.
Okay.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
How is there?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you. Hey. Oh, goodness. Oh, I knew it. I knew you'd see me touching the microphone and now you want it.